You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris. Final show of the year, Dan. We got to make it good.
Oh, wow. The pressure is, I feel, I don't even know if I can do this.
Oh, you can do it.
Oh, I've got the vapors.
You can.
The heck are the vapors? That's a Southern thing.
You can do it. You
Apparently
can do
I have
this.
vapors. Yeah, and let's see. Born this day, you knew him, you loved him, Henry John Dusendorf Jr.
Henry Dusendorf Jr.
I don't know who that is.
Well, we used to call him John Denver.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew that. I did know that.
This day, yeah. And let's see. Tom Hamilton. Come on. These guys never get any credit, but without him, rock and roll doesn't exist. He is the bassist of Aerosmith, actually.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Tom is 69 today, and one of my favorite rock and roll jokes, what do you call a bassist without a girlfriend? Homeless!
I apologize to all the
Those of you
bassists.
who've been in the world of music, you know that's funny. And I love this guy, man. Pretty much everything he's ever been in, I dig it. Anthony Hopkins, actor, is 83 today.
Oh, yeah, he's
And
a talented
also,
dude.
a side note, I want to congratulate him. I believe it
Sir
was
Anthony.
earlier this week he celebrated a different birthday, 45 years of sobriety.
That is super
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, and his story is pretty amazing. So
Yeah, he's done very well in his life.
came up the hard way. 1904, this day, the very first New Year's Eve celebration held in Times Square. Technically not quite right, because back in 1904, Times Square was known as Longacre Square.
Oh.
And it would be 3 years later, 1907, would be the first time that they dropped the ball
Really?
during that event. How about that? And speaking of New Year's Eve, which we used to refer to as Amateurs Night, whether it still is or not, but I found this interesting. This day, 1938, the very first breathalyzer is used.
Really?
Yep. It was used in Indiana. It was invented by Dr. R.N. Harger and was called, no kidding, the Drunkometer.
Love it.
Yeah, and just one more thing, and maybe you saw it, I'm sure it's all still on YouTube and everything else, but I got to actually watch this happen in real time because I'm just that old. 1967, this day, Evel Knievel sort of jumps the Caesars Palace fountain in Las Vegas, broke his pelvis, a femur, his hip, a wrist, and both ankles.
Oh, my
what?
goodness.
Think about this. We're talking about it to this day. That guy, Evel Knievel, like everybody knows the name. That might have been worth the jump, you know?
He was pretty amazing.
He
really was.
It's
Because he still
crazy.
jumped up and went, ta-da!
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, somebody help me with my broken femur." So now you were talking about the first time they dropped the ball in Times Square.
1907. This
So
day.
here's
Right.
here's something that's kind of interesting, because if you say you really dropped the ball on that, that's a negative thing.
Correct.
But we drop a ball to start a new year, you'd think that you'd want to do something positive. We should shoot the
That's
ball
an
up.
interesting point. I'm not even sure how or why they started that.
Yeah, because you think if it were me, I would have it where the ball starts on the bottom and it works its way to the top, like things are up. It's
Yeah.
a good thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And if I still care when we're done with this segment, I'll actually look into that. But boy, the chances aren't huge.
Somebody listening can let me know. And I think we should do a New Year's celebration. Well, we can't do it now this year, but we should have one where we raise the ball instead of drop the ball.
Okay.
Anybody with me?
That'd
Anybody?
be super rad, John. Yeah, sign me up.
Get a feeling he's kidding. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris.
Want to save money? Take the BetterCreditCards.com challenge. It's simple and free, and you could save money every single month. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate and see what you get for points or perks. Then go to BetterCreditCards.com to see if they can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you get a better credit card. Do it today. BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Time now for Ranger Dan's Critter Corner.
Well, I'm rough, tough, and ready. I'm a heck of a man. Eat my beans and weenies from a frying pan.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves to wrestle bears and lasso ducks. Run over possums in my government truck.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves all the campers and the animals too. If you're picking on critters, I'm coming after you.
He's Ranger Dan.
Yes, sir. I'm Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
And a happy New Year's Eve to you two. Gosh darn it, a snappy salute off the old Will Starch brim of the Ranger Dan hat. Jeff.
Yeah.
And Heidi, I gotta tell you something. We're gonna do something a little different here today. As you know, I've got a new book hitting the shelves early for the new year here. And we were doing a little private pre-book sale book signing over at the Log Cabin Bar on Saturday.
Is that what you were doing?
Invite only, yeah. And here's what I'm getting at here. Now, I don't make New Year's resolutions. I have no need to. What I do is generally perfect and on site and has been for decades, and I feel no need to change my lifestyle whatsoever. But this happened during that book signing. I had a big fan come up to me and he said, "Ranger Dan," and I said, "Yes, sir," because I say that.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do. Just about every day I'll say, "Yes, sir," like that. So he said, "Ranger Dan," and I said, "Yes, sir," which I may have mentioned. And he said, "I love Critter Corner." Well, who the heck doesn't? He said, "But one little thing that's always just kind of perplexed me a little bit there, Ranger Dan." And I said, "Yes, sir." He goes, "Well, you tend to start that show out where it seems to me like you're flat out flirting with Heidi there." And I was like, "Well,
yes, sir."
I said, "I was not really aware of that. Maybe you can clarify what you're talking about." He goes, "Well, yeah, you always do some line, kind of a pickup line, or you kind of hit on her or this and that. And I don't know, sometimes makes me a little uncomfortable because, she's married." And I said, "What?"
Tightly guarded secret around here.
I said, "Well, to who?" He said, "Well, that Gene, Steve, Rick, Jeff fellow."
It's John.
I'm not sure, but congratulations to you two.
Almost 21 years.
That's pretty. I had no idea, and I just got to say, Gene, I feel just awful.
It's okay.
I went back to that podcast thing, and I listened to some of those Critter Corner programs, and I'll be gosh darned if that wasn't sort of kind of I was doing. Whoa. Lord, I got to tell you, my ruggedly handsome face turned 3 shades of red. So I just want you to know my New Year's resolution is I'm going to be dialing back on that for gosh sakes. That's just embarrassing. And so moving forward into the new year, you will not hear me say, "Hey, Heidi, you remind me of a parking ticket because you got fine written all over you." We will not be doing those things. Or, "Hey, Heidi, your dad must have been a boxer because you are a knockout." That's just wrong because you two are married. Who knew?
And I'm sitting right here.
Or, "Hey, Heidi, you know what my shirt is made of? Boyfriend material." Because that'd be wrong. I wish you two the best. That's something else. Or, "Hey, Heidi, I just ate a bag of Skittles. Want to taste the rainbow?" Because I think that would be awkward for everyone. Now that I know kind of the lay of the land here.
It would be a little awkward,
Gosh.
So going into the new year, I think we'll just stick to what we know and the reason we're here, and that, of course, is dropping critter knowledge on the little radio rangers. Like this amazing little critter fact. Did you know that a porcupine contains no pork and even less pine? Science! Well, we got to roll out of here. But in the meantime, holy cow, is it hot in here or is it just Heidi? Ranger Dan out. Say it with me.
Yes, sir. Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Time now for Water Cooler Talk with Mr. Dan Farris, and it's brought to you by Lukewarm Tap Water.
Tap water.
Sad to say we're losing our sponsor in the new year.
Lukewarm tap water?
Yeah, they said they can no
shoot.
longer afford this. So
Oh.
I got something up my sleeve. It's all right.
Wow.
Thanks, Lukewarm Tap Water.
Well, what am I going to do when I run out of my lukewarm? I'll have to start paying for it. What is the skinny here? Of course, New Year's Eve and tonight, people, probably, certainly not like every other year, but, problem drinking and driving, bad idea.
Yeah.
So you would think there would be checkpoints, sobriety checkpoints.
A lot of the time there are, yeah.
going right through the entire month of January, but only in 20 counties in South Dakota. They will be through the entire month, 20 sobriety checkpoints actually in 17 counties.
Okay.
Okay, so be aware, starting, I guess, tonight, Brookings, Brown, Butte, Clay, Coddington, Dade, Douglas, Harding, Hughes, Jones, Lawrence, Lincoln, Lyman, Minnehaha, Pennington, Spink, and Woolworth.
So they're going to be doing a lot of checkpoints then.
Yeah.
It's probably not a bad idea because basically they're going, okay, we're going to do it for the whole month, but they ain't saying what day. They ain't saying exactly which of these counties on which day.
Yeah,
or
we've got a PSA
else.
running saying that it's they're in our neighborhood.
Okay, so keep in mind there are actually 66 counties in the great state of South Dakota.
So there's some that you can drink and drive in without checkpoints.
Oh, yeah, there's still
It's a bad idea
70% of them to light it up. Aurora, Go Nuts, Bennett, Buffalo, Campbell.
Terrible idea in any county.
Dewey. I lived in Dewey County. I would just move.
Got a Dewey.
Not sure where it is.
In Dewey.
Yeah, things have changed a lot, and that's just bad form drinking and driving.
Just because they don't have checkpoints, by the way, doesn't mean you couldn't get a Dewey in any of those
yeah,
counties.
because the cops will still be out.
Yeah, if you're drinking and driving, you can still. They're just not stopping you at the checkpoint.
Right.
But they can still give you your one-on-one stop.
Hey, it just takes one bad move to ruin your life and maybe somebody else's.
And it could take someone's life, so don't do it. Just don't do it. We were just talking about this. Why were we talking about this? We were talking about Lyft and Uber.
Yeah,
Oh, I got an email from them.
There's so many
That's why.
options, so make sure you utilize them.
If you've ever used them, you probably got the email too, but I got an email yesterday that was saying I could get like a ride for half price or something. But even if you're paying full price,
it's way cheaper than a
so
DUI.
much cheaper. Yeah. So don't do it. We've got so many amazing ways
long gone
to
are
get
the
home.
days when we get picked up for being under the influence, a wrist slap, whatever. No, now you go to jail, you get fined, they jerk your license. It's a mess.
Yeah. It's because it's caused so many problems.
I mean, you guys know I gave up the rock and roll lifestyle about a dozen years ago. Yeah. But when I was still out there really getting it done.
When you were a professional.
I remember I was leaving a place, what used to be the Ground Round, now it's 18th Amendment.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And I'd had my fill, and I was smart enough. I called a cab, and I was rocking an 81 Cadillac Brougham at the time. 12 foot long and bulletproof. I loved my caddy. But I locked it and left it.
Yeah.
Right.
Came back the next day, and somebody had hit it.
Oh.
Just crushed the rear end on it. I thought, well, that's just ironic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
You do the right thing, but somebody else did not.
Run, so, yeah, whatever. Do what you got to do, but keep it safe out there, man, because you know what? It's just selfish and stupid to be piloting something under the influence.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And the reason we care is because we love you, and we want you to be here in the new year to continue to listen to this amazing program. So... see how I made it all about us.
That was really nice, John.
It's not really about us.
I'm feeling kind of warm and fuzzy.
I know. I didn't
Come here, big fella.
I didn't turn up the heat, so I might as well make you feel warm and fuzzy this
Boy,
way.
no kidding.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris.
Want to save money? Take the BetterCreditCards.com challenge. It's simple and free, and you could save money every single month. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate and see what you get for points or perks. Then go to BetterCreditCards.com to see if they can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you get a better credit card. Do it today. BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Now your bright spot of news brought to you by Paul's Designer Showroom on Lake Lorraine in Sioux Falls. We're going to brighten your day right now with a little recap of 2020 from Mayor Paul Tenhaken.
It's been less than 10 months since our first confirmed case of COVID in our state. 2020 is not a year we will soon forget. It's been tough, no doubt, but it warrants us stepping back and taking a look at how this city persevered. As I did earlier this year for the State of the City address, I'm standing on the stage of the Mary Somervold Hall at the Washington Pavilion. Since I delivered that address in May, our community has continued to face challenge upon challenge. Pandemic challenges, hard conversations on racial inequities in our country, political tensions that, quite honestly, seem to grow louder every day. What a year it has been. But for all the challenges 2020 has brought, it's brought just as many victories. We have seen community members step forward to lend a hand to those in need, whether it's been contributing $3.4 million to our One Sioux Falls Fund or through our faith-based community and businesses joining together to encourage our healthcare workers. Uniting and showing support to one another, it's simply what we do as One Sioux Falls. Now, you're going to expect me to say this next line, but it's absolutely true, and that is Sioux Falls is poised to recover, and we are well on our way. The decisions we've made, the balanced approach to the challenges we've faced, the position of financial strength we had when we entered this pandemic, Sioux Falls is poised to recover, and we are well on our way. From a financial perspective, the debt per capita for Sioux Falls is the lowest it has been in the past decade and is one of the strongest in the nation. Even more impressive is that this year, in the midst of a pandemic, we paid off nearly $30 million in debt early. 2020 was also a big year for infrastructure and economic development news. After investing more city dollars in roads and streets than any previous budget during recent decades, we saw the completion of some massive roadwork projects, including 26th Street and I-229, 57th Street, 41st and Western Avenue, and the 8th Street Bridge. We also received historic funding commitments to complete Veterans Parkway South, a visionary project for our community. Our economy in Sioux Falls is absolutely buzzing, and the nation, quite honestly, is noticing. This year, Amazon made a commitment to open a 5-story building totaling nearly 3 million square feet with a fulfillment center that will employ 1,000 people when it opens here in Sioux Falls. Let's take a second to recognize that deal that came together entirely during the pandemic from start to finish. And just last week, due to the Amazon project, we set a record for annual building permit valuations this year, all in the midst of a pandemic. The world is watching what's happening in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. In 2020, we made historic commitments to public safety. Ensuring Sioux Falls is a safe community will continue to be a top focus for me as long as I have the honor to serve as mayor. We approved a bond for the new public safety training facility, a new Metro 911 dispatch center, and we broke ground and are nearing completion on our newest fire station in Southeast Sioux Falls. Later this year, we'll be opening a new police report-to-work location and more to come. The pandemic has only amplified our awareness of the importance of mental health and the challenges that many in our community face in accessing help for mental health and addiction issues. In 2021, we will open the LINK Community Triage Center to ensure we'll be able to connect individuals in crisis with the services they need. We also invested in a community resource officer within the Sioux Falls Police Department. That person is trained to respond to those dealing with mental health and addiction issues here in our community. Let's talk about housing. We continue to progress toward our goal of creating 1,000 additional housing units by 2022. We're also well underway to meeting that goal by establishing a housing clinic, starting a housing fund, and increasing rental registrations. We've also been hard at work toward creating a more equitable city for all. Through the Sioux 52 Mentorship Initiative, we are joining mentors and mentees together across this community. We've also launched the IDEA Digital Equity Initiative to determine how we can ensure families have internet access and technology in their homes when they need it. Finally, I want to share some exciting news you'll be hearing about soon. In 2020, the city was the recipient of one-time funds through the Local Government Assistance Program. A portion of these funds were already used to prepay outstanding debt, and we have targeted the remaining funds for additional one-time investments for our community. We will be moving forward with the Sioux Falls for All initiative in 2021. Working with our city council and other community leaders, the city will be proposing a comprehensive set of investments that will position us for the next decade, will leverage private investment, and will help strengthen the community and create equitable opportunities for all of our residents. Stay tuned in early 2021 as several important and exciting investments are announced as part of what we're calling the Sioux Falls for All initiative. In closing, let me say this: tough times don't last, but tough people do. And Sioux Falls, we are tough. We are a city of resilience, and 2020 has been just another opportunity for us to showcase that. We have so many reasons for optimism as we move forward in 2021. I couldn't be more proud of this community and the One Sioux Falls attitude that has helped us weather a year that many of us, quite honestly, will never quickly forget. Onward to great things in 2021.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Time now for entertainment news of the day with Mr. Dan Farris.
Because celebrities. I'm not sure if it was both of you or just one of you a while back had mentioned that apparently Tom Hanks gets every starring role in everything these days.
I think we might have been talking about that.
Well, he just had his head shaved. I mean, like bald.
Okay, for what?
Except for the sides. And he put on a pair of glasses. He is playing Colonel Parker in the new Elvis bio Super Smash film.
Really?
Of course he is.
Yeah, he's playing
I'm
the Colonel.
surprised he's
Is he
not
also
playing
playing-
Elvis.
he
He's
may
usually
also
the
be playing-
starring role.
Is he
Oh,
playing
and
Elvis too?
Priscilla.
Have you ever seen Polar Express? He
He's
plays
like every voice on
every
Polar
single
Express.
role. And we had a theory that they came to him to do one role, and he said, "This is how much I want." And they said, "That's fine, but you got to do every role." I don't know if that's an accurate theory, but
Yeah, Colonel Tom Parker, Elvis Presley's
Interesting.
manager, who I always had a problem with, actually. I think he really railroaded
Oh, yeah, I think
not just him,
Too.
several people. But
And the percentage he took, because usually if you've got an agent, you're paying 10%, maybe 15%. I think the Colonel signed on for, 60? He kept raising the ante
Yeah.
as Elvis's career went on. And I think when Elvis passed at, age 42?
Yeah.
I think the Colonel was in him for 60%, maybe even more,
Holy
of every dime
Ow.
Elvis Presley earned.
did he
So
have no way to get out of that agreement?
I think Elvis just said whatever. 'Cause, I mean, he was making bank no problem.
Yeah.
And, Colonel basically discovered him as, well, what was Elvis? He was a truck driver
Yeah.
in the Deep South, not really doing anything. But holy cow, he changed the course of rock and roll forever and ever and
For
ever.
everybody, yeah.
I'm trying to figure out here in this little blurb I've got who's
Does it
actually
say who's going to play Elvis?
That's what I'm trying to
that's what
find
you're
out.
looking for?
That's what I'm trying to find out. For
There
some
are
reason,
some
it's being
very-
directed by an Australian director, so it's kind of all over the map.
There's some very talented Elvis impersonators. We've seen some out in Vegas that are like, they look just like him, sound just like him. So I don't think it'll be hard to find someone to play that role.
Okay, we've all seen, it was one of the latest Quentin Tarantino movies, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, I saw that once upon a time.
Actor Austin Butler is playing Elvis. He was in that. I don't know who that is.
I don't either.
So Once Upon a Time in Hollywood actor Austin Butler will star as Elvis in the movie, which is in production.
Okay, interesting.
Very good.
So
I just
there you
Googled him to see.
Might be fascinating to see it, because what don't we know about Elvis? The
Right.
question is, we know everything. But this will be
Supposedly,
really
yeah.
the first feature-length film that apparently is going to be Colonel Tom Parker's kind of side of it. So that might be
Right.
interesting.
I just don't see. I'm looking at the pictures of this Austin Butler, and he doesn't
I won't.
look
I
like
don't
Elvis
think I'll
to
see
me.
it. I'm pretty sure I'm not spending money on another Tom Hanks film. I won't be seeing it.
So Heidi's a no.
I'm a no. It's a big no for me.
Whenever it shows up on DirecTV for free, I might look at it. Because that's how I roll. If it doesn't interrupt another Hallmark production.
Well, I'll probably be doing a podcast on it, so I have to watch it. So,
John.
Okay.
big shout out to Backlot 605. They had me do a podcast with them this last week.
Wow, no one knows what you're
I
talking
have no
about.
clue.
It's really cool. It was nice.
It's not, John.
Talking about movies and stuff. It was fun. Well, Dan, thanks for coming in, man.
Oh, hey, thanks for having me. I guess we'll see you next year, which is
Next year.
kind of weird, but yeah, we can't bail on this one soon enough.
Exactly.
Toodles
Bye-bye.
to 2020.
All right,
Thanks
God
for
bless,
listening.
guys. Yeah, see ya.
It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris.
Want to save money? Take the bettercreditcards.com challenge. It's simple and free, and you could save money every single month. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate and see what you get for points or perks. Then go to bettercreditcards.com to see if they can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it can help you get a better credit card. Do it today. Bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Thursday, December 31st, 2020. Happy New Year. The equities market saw a rebound from Tuesday's sell-off on Wednesday and continues to hover near the freshly set all-time high. Although positive, traders and investors should not read too much into the move because of the light trading volume and the holiday market conditions. The S&P 500 gained less than 0.25% on an intraday basis and held within a very tight 13-point range all session. The real test for the market will come next week as the first trading day of the new year. Looking to next week and the first trading day of the new year, there are several things that could move the market. The number one is COVID-19. The spread of COVID accelerated over the holiday and is sparking a growing round of shutdowns. While less severe than those put in place earlier in the year, the new shutdowns will have an impact on the economic recovery and corporate earnings. You can get the inside track with Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at MarketBeatMinute.com.